Welcome to Culture Wire. I'm your host, Meg Schiffler. Today we're in beautiful Civic Center Plaza, and I'm here with artist James Lee. Hi, James.
Hi, Meg.
And James is an exhibiting artist in the Arts Commission Gallery's new exhibition, Afghanistan in 4 Frames, and we're going to have a little chat today about the body of work that you're presenting. It's called Counter Narratives. Now, after you left the military, what prompted you to go back to, a place where the U.S. is engaged in military action?
Sure. I think it's interesting. If you look, the population of Afghanistan is, around 29 million, and there's probably no more than, let's say, 80,000 U.S. soldiers serving in Afghanistan right now. But if you look at the stories that come out of Afghanistan, you think that the numbers are completely reversed. All the stories are about Americans, and you see almost no images or stories that are about the Afghan people themselves. So I think if you look at the kind of dominant representational paradigm that you see today, it's all about foreign soldiers. So my idea was to go there and try and create a counter to that popularized narrative and focus on images and stories that really reflect the lived experience of conflict through the lives of Afghan people.
Now you're exhibiting with 3 other photographers, Teru Kuwayama, Eros Hoagland, and Lynsey Addario. And it's true, all 3 of them have really focused in the areas where a lot of U.S. And allied forces are seeing action, are actually involved in combat. And so your story is quite different than theirs. What does it mean to show your body of work alongside of the stories that probably are more familiar? What kind of juxtaposition does that create for you as an artist?
Well, I think the strength of bringing those 2 different stories together is that I think there's a real danger in focusing only on surface similarities between conflicts. When people look at a body work and they say, oh, I see that this is conflict photography, it reminds me of Somalia, or this reminds me of Iraq. I think that's really dangerous because I think there are very unique elements to each conflict. And if you don't focus on those distinctions, you start to create this broader kind of watered down topic, which is armed conflict. So I think it's important that when we focus on conflict, we make sure that we don't just generalize, but we allow specific places and voices and people to be heard, so we don't make these kind of generalized assumptions about what conflict is really like.
So James, the other photographers in the show, one of them is local, Eros Hoagland, and the other 2 are from elsewhere. Teru Kuwayama is from New York, and Lynsey Addario is based in New Delhi. What do you really like about some of their work, if you can be particular?
Sure, I'm a big fan of Teru's work. I also like the fact that he approaches photography from a non-traditional point of view. He also kind of has a mixed view of cameras themselves. He calls them toys, or that all cameras are toys.
Teru uses these cameras that one might assume are toys, but he also says all the toy cameras are cameras. So it doesn't really matter to him what he's using to take the images, as long as he's getting the images that he wants. And his images, because they're taken with these film cameras, have a very different feel than the other photographs in the show. One of the things that I like that maybe we could talk about for a minute is that Lynsey Addario's body of work, Women at War, is running down one side of the hall, and it's all about women in Afghanistan and how they serve and their special interaction with civilian women and communities, which is the special role that women soldiers play in Afghanistan. Across from Eros Hoagland's work, which is extremely masculine and black and white and really aggressive. What do you think about that juxtaposition between their 2 bodies of work? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I really like Lynsey's contribution to the exhibit. She also shoots in color like I do, so it's great to see some more color in the exhibit. She definitely has a gift for capturing distinct moments that balance the conflict that these women are facing day to day, but also very intimate and very feminine moments. I mean, she has one image in particular where a female soldier is shaving her legs, at the beginning of her day. And it's kind of an odd thing to consider, but obviously it happens every day, but most people don't think about the challenges that face women in these types of environments where they continue to be feminine, they continue to be women, but they also serve a vital role in Afghanistan. And I think Lynsey allows viewers to come in and see those kind of intimate moments that we might not normally think about.
Disclosure to our Culture Wire viewers, I'm actually the curator of the show, and one of the things I was interested in with your work and with the other bodies of work that I selected was that you are presenting a real human perspective. It's each of you zeroes in on on individuals and kind of sensitive, intimate, or private moments?
I think if you looked at most people's lives today and the way they spend their lives, it's probably not that different from what goes on some of these larger forward operating bases. I mean, they have cafeterias, they have internet cafes, they have laundromats, they have their own spaces where they read, play video games. I mean, it's really like a small microcosm of what they might find back here in the United States.
What do you hope that viewers take away from seeing your body of work or the exhibition as a whole?
I think it's important for people to question how much we know or don't know about Afghanistan, but conflicts in general. Too often today, I think we see one or two images and we think we understand what's going on in a part of the world, and we should try and get away from that. We should question what we know about a conflict, where we got that information, and always look for new perspectives and new focuses on conflicts that we think we already understand.
James, thanks a lot for spending time with us today on Culture Wire, and congratulations about the exhibition and letting San Francisco see this big body of work of yours. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Meg.